listening to The Announcer's Table with Daryl and Ian. This podcast is presented by RingIcon.com, the social networking site for wrestlers, fans, promoters, and everything indie wrestling. Log on today and create your profile, and as always, enjoy the show.
Hey guys, this is Ian.
Daryl.
And that's Daryl. You might not recognize him because his glasses are sucked into his face.
Yeah, your girlfriend came out today. She's like, I've never seen you in glasses. I'm like, Becky, you've seen me in glasses. She's like, I've never seen you in glasses. I'm like, yes, you have.
Well, they've never seen you in glasses.
No.
But that's okay. It's still Daryl.
Probably the last time.
It's the last time you'll ever see Daryl. He's fired.
Yeah.
That's what this episode's about. It's not the pros today. It was for me to publicly fire you on the video.
Yes.
So you are relieved
take over
of
my
your
spot
duties.
is going to be JR.
Yes.
He's looking for a job.
I would hire him. But today is the pro segment, so that means we're talking about WWE, Impact, and maybe some Total Divas, even though it's not on.
Well, you'll probably notice we didn't have an interview, and that's totally our intern's fault. We had some interviews, and then she deleted them by accident. So we're working on getting them redone, and we'll have some more back up. So we did fire her. She's gone.
Yeah.
So she's
That's okay.
no more.
We got a hotter one in her place.
Yeah.
But today, pro segment, so let's talk about pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
What happened in pro wrestling last week?
Well, on Raw, I thought it was a pretty good episode. I like the whole thing that Vince McMahon has now kind of gone back out again. He, and the Triple H is doing it all, and he's kind of just being Triple H. I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
You don't like it?
It's okay. I mean, it's not like my favorite thing going on right now, because the problem is that he's too intimidating.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
I mean that's the gimmick, really, But he's too intimidating to the point where, like, Stone Cold would stand up to Vince McMahon. Nobody's really standing up to Triple H yet. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see
if anything like that happens. But I mean,
I don't know. Well, what he's doing, because they got the whole Dusty and Dustin and
right.
Cody Rhodes thing going on. On Raw, Dustin and Cody both jumped the barrier and attacked the Shield because they had an 11-on-3 handicap match, and so they came out and attacked the Shield before their match, and it's pretty interesting because Roman Reigns got pinned for the first time since being on the main roster.
Right.
Then trying to think who's the last one. I want to say Dean Ambrose got pinned, and so Seth Rollins was the last one. And so that was pretty interesting to see happen.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that Dustin and Cody jumped a barrier.
Yeah.
Thought it was a little too gimmicky as Dustin had his Goldust face paint on, but was in street clothes.
That's odd.
So I thought that was a little weird. I mean, everybody knows what he looks like. Everybody knows who they're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's not a luchador.
Yeah, he should have just came. He was in street clothes. He should have just fought.
Yeah, just been Dustin.
And not had the makeup on. Everybody knows what he looks like without it. So I mean, it's not like he wrestled as Dustin Rhodes in WCW.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like it's some big secret. So that happened. My mind is like.
Well, basically, the main thing that with WWE right now is that they're putting a second. I mean, they threw in a new pay-per-view, which is going on not this Sunday but the next Sunday. So really fast compared to it's moving from Night of Champions directly into this new Battlegrounds pay-per-view.
Yeah, and the two main event matches are the same as Night of Champions.
Right. So that's kind of odd. I mean, and it's another Heyman guy versus CM
Ryback
Punk.
versus CM Punk.
I mean, we've gone through Heyman guy after Heyman guy against CM Punk. So
I like the whole fact of Heyman getting a stable going, or whatever they're going to call it, going. But I'm kind of getting tired of the CM Punk feud with him now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just getting a little...
Well, and I mean, if they're considering it a stable, like a Heyman guy stable, then I think they need to, unify the three guys more. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, I don't like... I guess you like it more like the 80s where the manager managed multiple people and they didn't really interact. But
look at Bobby the Brain Heenan. He managed several wrestlers at the same time, and they didn't really come out as a...
Yeah, I understand.
But you like it, back when...
I like stables, as in, like...
They
run together and stick together. NWO Wolfpack,
What was that one ran by Kevin Sullivan? Had the Giant in it, and a bunch of other kind of creepy people.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah. But either way, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I kind of like the separateness of it.
Well, I miss real stables to the point where, they have a whole bunch of three-man teams right now, and they're really not considered stables.
Yeah,
they need to add to one or two of them and make them actual stables, you know what I mean, and make them a big part of the show.
Well, I think what's going to happen is
drop them down to tag teams.
When this storyline runs its course with the Triple H thing, I think we're going to start seeing the dismemberment of the Shield.
Yeah.
But know who we're not really seeing a lot of or not being such a big deal now, is the Wyatt family.
Yeah, I don't know if they squashed his push.
No, they the other two guys, I can't think of their name off the top of my head.
They've been tagging a lot.
Yeah, and Bray Wyatt's there, but I haven't really seen much references to Kane. I don't really see them doing too many of their vignettes anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they've mentioned Kane every once in a while, but they've been really big on main event, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, it's I don't know. So, I remember what I was going to say about Triple H in the whole Rhodes feud that they got going on is Dusty Rhodes was like the GM of NXT. Why they would need a GM of that, I have no idea. But so Triple H relieved him of his duties and put JBL in charge of it.
Which I love JBL. So,
yeah, we all love JBL.
I mean, you can't go wrong with anything he does. But
I've liked every incarnation of JBL.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, he's awesome. So.
I mean, he's just. I like probably my favorite is when he's APA, but I think that's probably everybody's favorite JBL.
I kind of liked him as like the Wall Street guy towards the end of his wrestling career.
That was like really more him though.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he came out cowboy hat and
he's on money shows all the time.
Oh,
he knows what he's doing with money and has turned his money into lots of money.
Right.
So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give him my $5 that I have, and I'm gonna get him to turn it into 10 for me. So I've just doubled my income.
Well, if you give me $5, I can turn it into
$0.
$0.
I'll be out $5,
and I will be $5 richer.
That's how it's gonna work. Somebody has to pay for your woman.
That's right.
But I mean, really, the whole Daniel Bryan feuding with Randy Orton. I mean, those are some good matches. I
love Daniel Bryan. But I know these words are going to be like the death of me. I just don't see him as...
I don't know, man.
As the face of the company. I mean, I'm not buying into the whole Triple H thing. It's just, I don't... There's something about him. I love his gimmick. I love his look. I love him as a wrestler. But... there's just something about him that just isn't.
But you know what though? I can reference back to a time before he was a wrestling fan. They used to say same thing about Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And he and watching. Well, one, he was trained by Shawn Michaels.
All right.
All right. So there's obviously going to be those similarities. But I mean, I can kind of see that whole that whole thing again. He may not be the face right now. He
Right.
may be
No,
like
I agree.
But I think in the next 5 years or so, I think we're going to see a change.
That's really what I mean. Is I guess it's more of what they're doing with him right now and how they're treating him right now. There's no way he'll ever get to that point. You know what I mean? They're just pushing him down so hard that it's just not.
Yeah. Well, right now, all they got announced really is 3 matches for Battleground.
Right.
I'm hoping the Usos will get their title shot on Battleground.
Yeah.
Not that I think the Shield's going to lose anytime soon. But, I think Dean Ambrose is going to actually fight on Battleground Dolph Ziggler. Because they said,
Yeah, but we talked about it earlier that it looks like they're squashing Dolph Ziggler's.
Well, I don't think they're just squashing. They're just not pushing him anymore. They just don't think he's going to be a top draw. They just don't think he can draw money, which... I don't know, right? Because right now we was talking about before we started recording.
Yeah.
He reminds you and I both very much of Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Ass. Or
and so much that it's just not very appealing to the point where they need to rebrand him, get rid of his shiny tights and his whole dancing sexy look. I
didn't pit it. You know what made me start thinking and compared him to Billy Gunn?
Right.
Was when he started doing the Famouser.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense.
It didn't really dawn on me, or I didn't really think about it. I gave it no thought until he did that move, and I'm like, and all of a sudden, all these comparisons started running through my head.
Yeah.
And I know you had the same thoughts. I was like, man, come on. I get, that's a cool move, but he shouldn't be doing it because he's too.
Yeah, he's already way too much like Billy Gunn, but neither here nor there. The other match that's set up for Battlegrounds already is going to be Ryback versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
The whole CM Punk thing, to me, it's kind of getting old, but I know you're a big CM Punk and Heyman fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because I remember Paul Heyman when he was Paulie Dangerously back in WCW or NWA with the cell phone, the Zach Morris cell phone from Saved by the Bell, and Pony Tony had a lot more hair up here and a lot less weight and wore the suits and all that. And
I love him. I like Heyman. I like what he did with ECW. I really enjoyed ECW.
Well, he's brilliant. Brilliant. And and we'll go to this in a second, but he wanted to work for TNA and be like the head writer and do things. And this is where I think TNA screwed up, is by not hiring him. Come on. The dude is a wrestling genius.
Yeah. It doesn't matter now.
But I liked it when CM Punk fought Brock Lesnar. And then he feuded with Curtis Axel. And now it looks like we're going to see a couple of pay-per-views where he's feuding with Ryback. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready for him to start doing something else.
But I guess they're just trying to push him off because, if they take him anywhere, they would have to put him up against, Daniel Bryan, you know what I mean? And that has
that whole thing. So I get what they're doing. They have to kind of keep him right here, keep him in the limelight, keep him
busy.
Busy and towards the top of the pay-per-views. But it's going to kind of get stale. And I'm ready to see some other things going on. I'm really digging the whole Triple H kind of corporate storyline. I'm really digging that.
Yeah, it's okay.
But some other stuff I think needs some tweaking. Like Stephanie came out on Miz's show, whatever he calls it, and she called it Big Show, Big Show was out there. And Miz said some bad stuff about Stephanie. She came out and she told Big Show to knock him out, and normally you get the whole crying and I don't want to do it, but this time he just grabbed him, turned around and hit him, no hesitation, no nothing.
Yeah. So maybe Big Show's turning into, the corporate monster. We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe
that'd be a good name.
Yeah.
The corporate monster.
Yeah.
The corporate monster.
I like
Cookie Monster.
Big Show's a heel.
Yeah.
I think with this storyline, they needed to finally just flip him. Like, he needs to snap and just become straight heel and just run over everybody they want to run over, which I don't know if that's good for business and good for the storyline, but they gotta do something, man.
Yeah.
And it was weird, the 11-on-3...
Put him in a Shield outfit.
The 11-on-3 handicap match, all the people that came out to Daniel Bryan's defense.
Yeah.
And and so it's all them versus the Shield, and so that was a little weird.
It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Why you would put
But I don't know.
11 guys
I don't know.
against the Shield.
I mean, all right, so you want to talk about the ugly little stepbrother?
Yeah.
Impact Wrestling?
I guess so.
Alright. So right now the whole thing that the internet is all abuzz about is AJ Styles and Dixie doing a shoot interview.
Which it was no shoot interview. It was just for me, it seemed so much like a WWE ripoff. Like they're just bring in the corporate person and tell that little person who's the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like the WWE's been doing that for the past 3 months now. So
Longer than that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the funny thing is? You know, his contract's up in AJ's contract's up in like December.
Right.
At the end of the year. And so I was reading something about how WWE really don't have that interest that they used to have in him. He's 36. He's, up in age. So, I mean, granted, he's still a great wrestler, but he sucks on a microphone.
Yeah.
And you and I have had this conversation a couple times. Who would he feud with in WWE? Who would be good matchups for him? What would they do?
Daniel
with him?
Bryan, but I don't.
Yeah,
they can't
outside
bring
of
him
that
in.
One, CM Punk maybe.
Yeah.
But wow, that would be a good one.
It would be a good match, but one, it's not going to happen because they're not going to just bring him up right into. They would. To the WWE, he would start out at the bottom and work his way up.
I don't know.
I don't think they would just throw him in.
I could almost see a Jericho-like debut. Because you think about it, when Jericho left WCW, he wasn't a main eventer. He wasn't a headliner. He was like mid-carder at best.
Yeah.
They gave him a big,
Yeah, they did. So, yeah, I would love to see that.
I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, if they had a big build-up, like the August warning, how big of a build-up that was, and actually brought in somebody good. You know what I mean?
I forgot all about that. Tito.
And now both Tito Ortiz and
because they're concentrating on their fight, which they should be doing.
Exactly, that's their business. So
that makes no. The Bully Ray was getting into it with everybody in Aces and Eights. They just need to hurry up and squash that whole thing.
Yeah, it looks like Aces and Eights is about to get squashed.
Yeah, because now Main Event Mafia's not even feuding with them anymore. They're feuding with Ego, which is a Bad Influence team with Robert Roode, and has now made Ego.
Yeah,
and,
which isn't bad. I mean, it's better than Aces and Eights feud. So
yeah,
and at least there's only 3 against 3 instead of.
Well, I was reading, and they wanted Mickey James to stay, but they only offered her $60,000 a year. But she gets, and this part blew my mind. Okay, for an indie appearance, $1,800 to come. I'm not paying no woman wrestler that much money.
Yeah, but you got to think how many people she pulls in for independent.
I'm not saying she'd be a great draw. And then her concerts that she's doing, she's making about $5,000 a performance. So I mean,
she sings.
Yeah, she has an album.
Oh goodness!
How do you not know? Yeah,
I don't know that. I didn't know that.
She has a whole CD out, and
yeah.
I mean, I don't like country music, but I mean, she's not half bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't dig it, but we'll see.
I mean,
I'll let our producer be the judge of that, and we'll have her tell you how that is. At some point.
We'll have her review it. She probably won't like it, but I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I don't really like country music, but whatever.
So, other than Mr. Anderson is
he should be coming back. Right now, he's selling the whole beat up thing because he did renew his contract.
The one character that I love and that I'm really digging on TNA is crap. He was the masked guy.
He was the masked guy?
Masked. He was, what's his name?
Oh, Manic.
Manic. No, not Manic.
No.
the big guy, the ginormous, and now he's playing the corporate guy.
The
inexperienced
Parks, Joseph Parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Abyss.
He was Abyss,
Well,
right?
he is Abyss.
Right.
But yeah.
And so I really enjoy him, and I enjoy his gimmick. And I like how he's kind of a newbie wrestler getting into it. And then when he sees blood, he's like freaking out and beats the crap out of people. I mean, that's kind of cool.
They got him teamed with
the bearded guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh my god, man! Our brains aren't working today. Eric Young.
Yes. I don't ever remember names very well, and
Yeah.
I definitely don't remember TNA names very well.
Well, you know, Chris Sabin just turned heel.
Yeah.
And him and Manic are feuding. That's what I don't get. Okay, they changed Suicide. Look at it. They changed Suicide to Manic.
Right.
Then he walks around without his hood on. You see his face, and he wrestles in the hood.
Yeah.
No, just stop. You know who I would like to see really go out in TNA is Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff.
Yes.
If they would just like break them away from Aces and Eights, give them a pretty cool gimmick, and pit them as a team, I think that'd be a good tag team. They both have really good looks. We was talking about this last week. They both have really good looks to them.
Eric Bischoff for sure. Briscoe, I'm not 100% on,
But I don't know. I've seen him wrestle quite a few times, and he does really good. Garrett Bischoff, the only problem he's going to have
is his father.
It's his last name.
It's his bloodline.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we all know what Eric Bischoff did.
Even if the WWE offered him a contract, I doubt he would even take it because he probably hates.
No, I don't see why I would hate him. I mean, that's his dad's business. But
yeah,
if WWE offered him a contract, he didn't take it. He'd be effing stupid.
Yeah, but we'll have to see about that.
I mean, so I don't know. It's just I'd like to see him.
I really like his look, and he's a pretty good wrestler. So
yeah,
I mean,
which is kind of shocking because
you wouldn't
think so, but who knows?
As long as his hair doesn't turn gray after,
right.
white. I mean, Bischoff's hair just went white instantly.
Exactly. But that's pretty much it, man. It's not really...
Yeah. I mean, other than... did you want to talk about the after show of Total Divas? I mean, because we didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it because you hadn't watched it yet.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it yet.
I dug it.
It was way too fast. They pushed it all.
It was like it's an hour-long show. The show is.
Yeah.
And they do a 30-minute.
Yeah, and they just hit, and all they did is really just go over the last episode and just talk about.
Yeah, and they talked about it quick, which I was kind of disappointed because you know what, they have pulled me in. All right, I'm addicted to the dang show because we was only going to watch the first episode just to kind of give a critique about it. And then we both got hooked and started watching it every week.
The only thing that was really lame about it was one, they brought out Jared or whatever. And Jarrett. It's like, Jarrett. I mean, one, that is the biggest...
Is it Jared with a D or Jarrett with a T?
I don't know. It's
whatever. Y'all know who we're talking about.
But, I mean, that is a super scripted...
that was way too scripted. And you're right. They only talked... Now, did you see the nurse's outfit?
No, I didn't pay attention at that point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're a woman. All right, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But the nurse's outfit, man, I'm not, I mean, I don't really find Nikki Bella all that hot. Right. She's not really my cup of tea. But, I mean, that outfit actually did some wonders. Whoo, buddy.
All right. With that, Daryl needs to take a break.
But I mean... I like the show. I can't wait for. I think it's November 17th.
I think the after show was kind of just a waste.
Yeah,
but
I think it was too. It should have been an hour long. They should have went a little more into it. They touched briefly on the JoJo and Eva Marie feud, or not really feud, but just them kind of not getting along. And part of that, part of me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just retarded on this part. It is. I don't know if that's scripted or if they just really kind of don't like each other. I think it's maybe a good
It could
blend.
be a mixture of both because, I mean, if you work with somebody and your apartment is with them and, with the age difference between the two, I could definitely see them having a little bit of an issue together, all the time, especially in a somewhat competition. I mean, they're not really competing like they're making it out to be. because they're both on the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I read something today that Eva Marie comes off really good on TV. Not really sure about her wrestling yet because she hasn't really wrestled.
yeah.
But I definitely see her being some kind of fixture on WWE TV.
Yeah, and they can do that a lot quicker with her rather than JoJo.
JoJo doesn't have a look or a gimmick or really anything that I've seen that I've been like, oh wow. But Eva Marie, she has that attitude and has that, So I don't know why JoJo was surprised that Eva Marie kind of would be featured before her. You know, I mean, because what does JoJo offer?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
And then the one thing she tried to offer, like to make herself stand out, she ended up getting other people. She ended up letting other people get in with it.
Yeah.
So that didn't make her stand out
until she did the next,
in SummerSlam. She did sing.
So,
but that's the only thing, dude.
Right.
So she can sing, but there's a million people in this world that can sing.
Right.
Doesn't mean they're great singers.
And how is that going to be any kind of gimmick in WWE?
Yeah, I mean Lillian Garcia is a singer. She has CDs out, but I mean it's all in Spanish. I don't understand what they're saying.
I don't either.
And it's not like she's huge here in the States.
Right.
So I mean, there's a million people that can sing, but
yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it comes back November
17th, like the middle of November.
Right. So
when everything starts coming back because the holidays are fixing to start.
Right. So I mean, Total Divas. That's pretty much it until it come back. Pretty much it for Impact. I mean, we'll just have to see where this goes with Dixie Carter and AJ Styles.
I gotta say, this is how bad they're doing. They had a house show, only drew 200 people.
That's rough.
I've been to independent shows.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but with no names. Right. Okay, and if you're in the business, you know what I'm talking about. All right, draw more than 200 people.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean.
Yeah, that's rough. But
yeah, 200. I mean, the NAW show that I was at, their anniversary show, had over 100 people out there. And that show was in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And they drew over 100 people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just bad.
Yeah. That's TNA for you.
Yeah, but whatever. That's all we have.
So,
I'm Ian. That's Daryl.
I'm Daryl.
Daryl. Right there.
So that's pretty much it for the pro segment this week. So we will be catching you next week with the pro segment. We got some promotion builder and gimmick builder on.
We should have interviews next Wednesday.
And we should have some interviews next Wednesday. So check back with us at youtube.com/ringicon. So until then, we will see you later.